the workshop is ongoing. So first of all, I want to thank Jean-Marc D'Angelo. He is our European fluorescence track screening system application engineer that covers the whole Europe. Means we at Hamamatsu, apart from doing cameras, we make sometimes a kind of big systems. And we started to make at the end of the 90s, 96, I think it was the first release. We made a plate reader. And you may say, well, plate readers, there are many in the market. Yes, but this was a special plate reader because we dispense and read in parallel at the same time. So this dispense a track and we read in all the wells simultaneously because we use a camera. This is a system that we use for fluorescence and luminescence, and up to now we were quite popular in several pharma or biotech companies. But in the last few years, we discovered a growing interest in the academia because there are some applications related to safety, for example, that needs to test as soon as possible that some drug, some potential cure or for a disease has no toxicity effects. So it's becoming quite popular. We also release a kind of a smaller system called the microcell. And this is the point. Once we had this system for the market, we realized that for this specific case, we needed to have someone with a strong background on biology and the methods of measuring. And this is the point that we have one application specialist for this application, that is Jean-Marc. And previously to this presentation, I was discussing if it fits in the microscopy congress, because this is mainly interesting in high content screening more than high throughput screening. But the point is that our system is becoming with higher resolution, and some people start also to consider image analysis inside the wheel and not only for intensity analysis. So why not? We just want to take this 50 minutes maximum to introduce you this technology. And of course, if you see some interest, we were more than happy to discuss later about the possibilities. So I don't want to waste more time. So Jean-Marc, so please, Jean-Marc, thank you, and please do the presentation. Thank you very much.
Thanks, David, for the introduction. Thanks to joining this workshop this morning. So I'm Jean-Marc D'Angelo, so like David told you, and I'm the European FDSS application engineer for Hamamatsu for our FDSS kinetic plate reader. So I have 15 years of experience on drug discovery, mainly for the FDSS, so our kinetic reader, and we'll have also a new system in the future in using light sheet, a scanner using light sheet illumination, and using new camera for 2D and 3D model. But that is not the purpose of my presentation today. So the agenda, so briefly we'll introduce the principle of the FDSS microcell, so is a one imaging kinetic plate reader. The second part will be like David told you, to show you a new approach to analyze the data in the well using the Orca flash floor of Hamamatsu. So I will have two case study, one using calcium transient with IPS human cardiomyocyte, and another case study using calcium of myotube with micro pattern and with an electric field simulation. So first, I want to explain you what is the FDSS. So the FDSS is an imaging plate reader. FDSS means Functional Drug Screening System. And so we have, a dispensing head could be 96 384 1536, a cell plate, a camera above the plate, and so we can aspirate 96 384 compound plate and dispense on the cell plate and read the full plate in real time. So there are different options on the instruments called the FDSS microcell. We have the possibility to record a high frequency than more than 300 Hz for 96 format. And we have a temperature control at 37 degrees. And on this instrument, we have the possibility instead to dispense compound to stimulate also the cell with 96 electrons. So I will show you a few examples later on my presentation. And we have a CO2 option also on the instrument. So the idea is mainly at the big, for most of the cases for drug screening. So the principle is the detection in real time of the drug efficacy in dizzy model or different model. So here you have a drug, you aspirate a drug at a different concentration for the agonist, antagonist, and you have a dye on your cell plate. You dispense your drug, and you can analyze the fluorescence effect depending of your dose response. And the fluorescence will give you the drug efficacy, what we call the IC50 or the IC50, IC50 for the agonist and IC50 for the antagonist. So show you a few video so you can understand more in detail what the principle of the instrument. So we load the gripper with 96 384 head. You load your compound plate in a stage. You have 3 positions, 2 here and 1 on the back. And you bring your cell plate. So that's a fixed position where we use LED alert for the excitation in fluorescence. I will show you now a second video where you can see that we flash with different color because we have a dye on the cell. You aspirate the compound from a stage, so it could be 96 384 1536. The plateau go on the back and you dispense the compound. So you can have like a 10 seconds of baseline and you dispense the full plate 96 384 in real time to make a different measurement. So it's very compact and easy to use for 96 384 format. So you can record the full experiment in real time, and we can also record 1536, but we don't have a dispensing head here in this case on the microcell. So the dispensing, you have a dispensing volume of 96 384. We have a specific tips linked to the 96 or 384 format. And you can see here an example of a beta-arrestin measurement here in real time. So you have a different kinetic depending of the compound, the effect of the compound. You have a compound 1, compound 2, compound 3, who, if you check during a certain time, you see that the effect of the compound are different if you take at 10 seconds or 30 seconds. So the information about the kinetic is very important during time to see the effect of the compound. So we use different screening technology. So you have a fluorescence dye, you have also luminescence dye. So we use calcium dye, like the Fluo4 dye or the Cal 520 dye. You have different membrane potential dye, Fluovolt or other dye on the market. You can run also different ion channel, could be potassium, chloride, or sodium channel. And also you have different dye to measure the potential of membrane of mitochondria. And you find also different screening technology luminescence for calcium, like the Echorin, or you can also record the CIMP and also the calcium in real time. You can also record protein interaction with BRED technology or inflammation information for ROS or NDPH, for example. So there are different applications, could be for ion channel, could be for protein interaction, for GPCR or for safety assay. So there are different applications on our platform. So that was the first part, just to introduce the technology. And the second part is to show you new data using the Orca Flash 4 and the new approach. So we have actually on the instrument 2 option, we have the possibility to use the ImageM that's from Hamamatsu. That is what is the standard camera we use on the microcell, mainly because you can do fluorescence, luminescence, and also bright application. So that's very standard on the microcell we use for most of the customer. But there maybe some of you know, but the Orca Flash 4 is quite well known on the market from Hamamatsu, and we have the possibility to use the camera also on the FDSS microcell. So in this case, of course, you have higher number of pixels. Here is 2048 by 2048 compared to the M, where it's 512 by 512. The size of the pixel also is smaller for the Orca Flash 4 compared to the M. And for the Orca Flash 4, you can have a better signal to noise, a better resolution. So I want to show you some example using this camera. So the benefit of the Orca Flash 4, so like I told, is a high signal to noise ratio, a larger field of view, and a better resolution compared to the MCCD. So show you first the principle. So you have here 96 plate before the addition of the compound here, for example with XL. And we have a calcium dye, so we have no injection, and we have after one addition of a capsaicin a compound here, and we for example focus on the orange square here, and if you take the average of all the fluorescence in the pixel, you arrive to this green kinetic here. So you have a very small ratio of 1.1, 1 point something, so quite small. But if you select only the odd pixel here, for example, in red here, you can see that you can increase the signal to noise of 2.5 compared to the before the addition of the compound. And if you select also where there are no signal, no cell don't react here in blue, you see that you are close to 1 here. So you see that if you take the average of the full pixel, you have a small ratio of 1.1, and if you have the possibility to make a segmentation and select only the odd pixel compared to the pixel or the cell who don't respond, that will increase the signal to noise and the possibility to have a better dose response information on your well. So I want to switch to the first example in the cardiac field, but I want to show you first the principle of the experiment before to come to the Orca Flash 4. So we use there are some interest in the cardiovascular field for toxicity effect of the drug. So most of there are some drugs who have toxicity, of course, and that is mainly the percentage is mainly on the cardiac vascular. You have 45% of the drug who is have some effect. You have 32 is some toxic effect in hepatic, and other case 23 model. So they have a need actually of in future to have a relevant in vitro model to screen to check the toxic effect of the compound in early drug development process. And so the goal of the actually on the cardiovascular safety field is to find a toxic drug in the early stage of drug discovery to reduce the cost and also to reduce the animal use and cost. So one option is to use the iPSL technology. Yep. We use the iPSL cardiomonocyte on the microcell. There are different type of screening technology. There are the membrane potential dye, the fluorovolt, for example. You have the calcium dye, and also you have a calcium protein sensor. You can use the advantage of the calcium protein sensor that they are less toxic than the dye, and so you can record during 24, 48 hours, where with the dye, normally you can record during 4 hours with low concentration of the dye, if the dye have no quencher. So what we want to check normally in the safety pharmacology field is the risk of QT interval prolongation. So in the heart here, you have the ECG, like for human, you can record ECG here. And the QT interval is the time taken from ventricular depolarization to the time of repolarization here. So if this Q time is prolonged, you have a risk of arrhythmia, torsade de pointe, or ventricular fibrillation, or sudden death due to this prolongation of the QT here. You have one image here where what you can see on the FDSS microcell. So during 1 minute, you have no compound, no drug addition. So you have some calcium oscillation. So the iPS cells are not mature, so they are beating only. So normally when the cardiac cells are mature, you need a pacemaker that they start to beat. In the case of iPS cells, they are not mature, so they will beat himself without making any stimulation on the cell. So you have some oscillation, you dispense the compound, and after a certain time, you can see this QT effect on the microcell, this prolongation effect. So the potassium, the ERG potassium channel on the field are essential for normal electrical activity in the heart. And you have some prolongation, ADP. It could be due to some drug. So you can see here the action potential here. You have what in black, what normally you should record on Earth. And if you dispense a compound will block the potassium here, you will see in red that you will have a prolongation and of the QT here. So you can find this information also on the FDSS using calcium dye. You have the control here of on the cardiomyocyte, and you dispense different concentration of dofetilide, a blocker of ERG, and you can see you have a QT prolongation here, and you can see also some smaller effect also of the depolarization. So in 384, just one example where you can have different type of cell who are well known to increase the frequency or to increase the QT, or so you can have different control of new drug, or also drug where you know that they make some effect, just to check the principle of the experiment. So one screen to show you what you can see on the software of the FDSS. So you have in 96 well here. You can select one well. You can see the calcium oscillation, and you have also the raw image here without correction on software. So now I want to show you the interest to use the ARCA flash floor compared to the MCCD. So with human cardiomyocyte. So we use the eCell2 iPSL from Cellular Dynamics, Fuji. The cell was cultured during 10, 12, 11 days. We use a calcium dye CAL520. It's the Alfwell 96 plate. And for the camera setup, we use a binning 2x2, exposure time of 10 milliseconds and sampling time of 10 milliseconds. So you have the control here, and we use, and for example, we use also the dofetilide who block the potassium channel. You can see here a video here of the calcium oscillation on the MCCD camera. So they are the well are beating at a different, not on the same time. Like I told you, they are beating spontaneously the IPS cardiomyocyte. And we use the higher gain of the camera on fluorescence, and we have a signal to noise of 1.64. And with the Orca Flash 4, we have increased the signal to noise, but you can see that also you have more information inside the well due to the resolution. So just another view and video here of one well. So you can see here the beating of the cardiac cell here during time. Another case here, another well where you can see also the beating of the cardiac cell of all the cell into the So if we check a bit more in detail, so also in binning one by one, we can see some illumination effect here due to the optics here, a line here. You can see that there are also during the cell culture maybe, or when we load the dye, a pipetting effect here. So you can see, just 1 minute. You can see here a pipetting effect here, maybe from the user, maybe user came too deep on the plate on the well and damage the cell, and so you have no cell here on this part. So and also you can see this illumination effect, the line here, due to the optics. So one possibility will be to remove or to calculate, instead to make the average of the full well, to calculate to remove this pipetting issue and also the illumination effect on due to the optics of the instrument. The second case study is for a calcium spike of myotube using micro pattern and electrical field simulation. So the same, I will start to explain about what the principle of the experiment, and after I will enter to the comparison between the MCCD and the Orca Flash 4. So on the microcell, instead of dispense compound, you can also use a 96 channel electrode array. So it's completely 96 head will go on a 96 plate and stimulate the full plate. So you can apply different voltage by column to 0.1 to 40 volts. And you can also change the frequency of the duration of the pulse and the frequency of the stimulation. So here is just an example where we use a neuronal cell where they are excitable with using a fluorescence dye like the fluo4 dye, and we stimulate at different voltage like a 5 volt, 8 volt, 10 volt, and you can generate a calcium spike with the stimulation and check some drug who will inhibit this calcium signal, for example. So the main application is mainly for all the cells who have a calcium signal, and also for voltage gating channel, which is quite very interesting. So for using the electric field simulation, you have different applications using calcium dye. So could be for skeletal muscle, where normally you need to apply a drug to create a contraction. Instead to apply a drug to have the contraction, you can stimulate with the EFS head and check your drug of interest. That's one of the application. You also have the application in cardiac field, where you can use a neonatal baby right, where the cardiac cells are mature, so they will not beat spontaneously like the IPS cardiomyocyte. So you can see if you don't stimulate, there are no calcium oscillation. If you stimulate, they will start to beat. So it could be one application if you use a neonatal baby right or primary cell. And another application is more in a pen or CNS area, where you have you add calcium dye, you do pre-reading with the stimulation at different frequency, and you check after the blocker or the antagonist effect with some compound, and that's some application used by some customer with the FDSS microcell. And the second application is for the voltage gate channel. So it could be for sodium, potassium, and sodium, potassium, and calcium channel with link to the voltage gating, sorry. And so you have a possibility here, for example, you have a buffer with your cell and with this voltage gate channel sodium, in this case, NAV 1.3, you stimulate the full well, so you see you have a response. And after you can apply a different drug like some sodium channel blocker, lidocaine, TTX, at different concentration. And you can record detect the IC50. So we compare the IC50 using the stimulation head using membrane potential dye compared to the patch clamp, who is of course the gold standard for voltage gating channel. And we find very comparable pharmacology using the stimulation combined with a fluorovoltaic dye and a patch clamp. So the case study, like I told you, is for calcium spike for myotube using micropattern and this electric field stimulation on the microcell. So first, the micropattern was a collaboration with Cyto. So they develop micropattern. So they have a cytophobic substrate here, and they use a micropattern here with kind of form of a rugby balloon, I would say, the geometry. They have the ECM protein, and after here you can form myotube using human primary myoblast. So that's the technology of Cyto here, actually. So the principle of the myotube assay with the FDSS microcell using the electric field stimulation. So just you have muscle contraction, for example. When you have muscle contraction, you have a calcium signal with release. And so you can read this calcium signal using a fluo4 or Cal520 dye. So the principle is to use the Meo screen from Cyto, where they have the micropattern for one well, for example, many micropattern on one well 96. So we will stimulate the myotube, we'll have a contraction, and we can measure the calcium spike. So here you can see we stimulate 11 times the global well with there are like 200 micropattern, and you can see you can detect the calcium spike for each stimulation where you create a contraction, and you can detect the calcium signal. So you can see that also if we apply a TTX here, we will completely block the signal here of the myotube here. We also try different other blocker, and that work also that block the calcium signal. So you see also difference of I would say signal depending of the donor. If you have a donor who is young, like a female of 4 years old, or donor of 20 years old, you can see that the calcium signal is different between the donor 1 and the donor 2. So you have the donor 1 in red and the donor 2 in pink here. So the idea was to make also measurement with the Orca Flash 4 to see the interest to maybe make some segmentation with the Orca Flash 4 compared to the MCCD. So we use the MCCD here, and you can see here, just one second, sorry, I have a video here. So you will see, so the baseline, and after we stimulate, so you will see that the color is more blue. You see the signal here on the well. stimulation. And you can see that with the Arca Flash 4, we have the possibility here to make some segmentation, distinct some micro pattern here. So we stimulate at different voltage, 3, 5 volt, 10 volt. So you can, just 1 second, pointer. You can see here in blue the 3 volt, in green the 5 volt, and the 10 volt here. So that's a view of the plate with the Arca Flash 4. And show you a video here where before. In green here is area select here for the first video here on the well. So you will see first is the baseline, and after we start to make the first stimulation, the second stimulation, third stimulation, and until 12 here. And after in blue here, the blue square here, I select just one area here on the image here using ImageE here, and you will see that the same, that you have first the baseline, so no stimulation, and after we stimulate here, you will see first stimulation, second stimulation, and until 12 stimulation. So the principle normally is to, on our drug screening system, is to average the full well 96 here with the MCCD camera. In this case, if we check with the Arca Flash 4, we make the average of all the micro pattern. With the myotube, we arrive to a signal to noise of 1.14 here. And if you can do some segmentation and select different micro patterns, for example, I select 4 micro pattern here. So maybe the micro pattern one here, the myotube or the cell are some issue are not very perfect here. So maybe we could exclude this micro pattern. But in micro pattern 2, micro pattern 3, and 4, you can measure the calcium spike, and we have a signal to noise of 1.25 to 1.5. So we re-increase the signal to noise with making some segmentation. And you have also the possibility to remove the macro pattern where you have no signal or some issue on the cell here. So summary of my presentation. So just to show you that the Arca Flash 4 allows novel approach to analyze cell-based fluorescence assay using our kinetic imaging microplate reader, the microcell, that provide also more accurate information in the cell sample for heterogeneous cell population. Also, the cell population with intercellular communication could be very interesting, like the neuron, I think, in the future. And also, you can distinguish some small number of cell population too, compared to the MCCD. So in the future, I want to also generate more data with neuronal cell using the stimulation head. So if you have any question, please to answer.